dude. Didn't take long at all.
I literally just did that. Yeah, speaking of the mulberries, I actually, how do I say this? I made, I usually put blueberries in my banana pancake on Sundays, and I put mulberries in it, and it was fucking swell. It was fucking swell, dude. Oh my god. Anyways.
You're gonna judge me.
I'm gonna judge you?
No. She knows who I'm talking to.
Who?
Angie.
What?
She watches the show.
Oh yeah, she's one of the ones that comments a lot, and I really appreciate that.
No, she's like, I got you now. And she's like, I watch every episode. I was like, oh.
Well, hell yeah, I'm total. I don't give a what she says or do what.
She's gonna make fun of me because I have a hard time sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
And I drink coffee. It's probably why.
Yeah, tell me about it, dude. The sun was up when I went to sleep this morning. Anyway, last night, this morning, whatever.
Around that time.
Anyways, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Art of the Jam. This is episode number 92. We are fast approaching 100 episodes. I think that's a crazy thing.
Yeah, and it also is a crazy top from where it started, too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which is, you guys are going to get something pretty nice for that, too.
Well, go back and listen to episode 1. I dare you. It's kind of funny. Anyways, our topic for today, in lieu of, we are about to go on tour. We're about to do a little run on the West Coast. And this is our first time.
Woo!
It's that hurt my f***ing ear.
Yeah, at least I got on right after.
But, I think, and I was talking to my mom the other day. I was texting my mom, and she was like, did you leave already? And I was like, no, that's next Monday. And I was like, she's like, well, that's cool, whatever. And I was like, yeah, it seems fun, but it sounds scary to me.
I'm kind of scared.
I am too, especially because there's the LA riots happening right now.
Yeah,
we're about
dude,
to roll
that's what
right
Angie was saying too.
We're about to roll right up into that, but no, I thought it was scary, so, I thought it'd be funny to do a episode. Our topic for today is Terror on Tour, Tales from the Reddit...
Oh, yes!
Terror on Tour, Tales from the Reddit Road Dog. When the crescendo comes crashing, adventure's tender underside, the grime and mold growing beneath the glitter and... Let me repeat that. When the crescendo comes crashing, the adventure's tender underside, the grime and mold growing beneath the glitter and glam. There it is. That was very hard to say. Beneath the glitter and glam.
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah, the grime and mold growing beneath the glitter and glam. And to make it a little more grim, I have a question for you today, audience. What is your biggest fear or worry in the event that you go die time tomorrow? I will repeat. What is your biggest fear or worry in the event that you die tomorrow? That being said, stew on that a little bit, I feel like. Because this is a deep question. And I'm kind of scared. So guess what? Cue that intro. Yeah! I think we died for a second. I think I was one of those the people that freeze when they're dead.
Freeze.
Yeah, you actually died.
Yeah.
I think the people that get so scared.
The
The people that get so scared when they die that they they die like that.
Yeah.
It's just like immediate rigor mortis. But yeah. So the question is, what is the biggest fear or worry in the event that you die tomorrow? What's your biggest fear? What's your biggest worry, Space Camp? Think long and hard about that.
I have like 3.
Okay. So if you want to name all of them, you can. If you want to name
Mirrors, porcelain dolls, and fucking roller coasters. And
I'm
heights.
saying if you die tomorrow, what are you worried that you're not going to accomplish?
I don't know. A lot of things.
Okay, we're going to unpack this. We're exploring ourselves right now.
It's musically, I probably haven't made it to where I want to be yet. So yeah, that's about really the main one.
That's a big one too. Just the fear of not accomplishing what you wanted to in life.
Yeah.
Or there's a couple of things that I feel like I definitely, I don't feel like having children. I feel like it wouldn't be like it's not a fear or worry of mine, but it's like if I were to die tomorrow, I feel like I would regret not, even though I don't really want children, I feel like I would regret not having children, or like at least like there's so many people that I'd be like, man, I wish I was able to be like, hey, this is how I felt about you. You know, even if they were assholes, I wish that, oh man, before I died, I wish I would have told you you're a fucking dick. Or, no, but I think, I mean, like, do you have anything that you're just fear of not accomplishing what you would just be worried that you didn't accomplish the things that you wanted to in your career?
Yeah. So, because, well, with my career, you know, I want to help, like, save people and shit.
Right.
You know.
So your fear is not accomplishing what you wanted and not having the opportunity to save people.
Yeah.
Okay. Man. My answer to this question is seems a little selfish compared to that. Not selfish. I don't know how to explain it. My biggest fear, because I curate these questions honestly off of my own worries and curiosities and things like that, because like I always say, this show is therapeutic for me. So it's like I try to come up with a question because I want to fucking talk about what's wrong with me. And no, but I feel like my biggest worry and fear is I have this massive fucking fear of like living a meaningless existence. Like I feel like if I were to die,
Feel that?
yeah, and it's like I feel like if I were to die tomorrow, that I wouldn't, like, I didn't do anything of meaning. And it's like I feel like music is what gives my life meaning. And it's like for me to just like go kaput, I'd be like, you know, I mean, I'm sure there's like golden harps and shit in heaven if I were to go there. I don't know if I'd go there. I haven't repented, but you know, God said if you don't fucking repent, then you don't fucking go to fucking heaven. But I don't know. I feel like
It'd be like my first reaction get to the gates is like, they wear that blood out. Oh, don't let this asshole in.
It's like you didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but you know, you said some things and did some stuff. And we don't know if we can. We don't know if you.
Yeah.
We don't know if we're gonna have you. If we can have you here.
You're just a heckler.
Well, yeah.
We don't like hecklers here.
Ooh, can you imagine going to hell and it's just like all the people that ever heckled you are there, and you're like, oh shit. It's like security. It's like we don't have that here. We have just horny demons. That are just, never mind.
Or that one little Nicky, the bird. I deserve this. I deserve this.
Right. But no, I just feel like there's I haven't even really unpacked this that much. It's just the feeling of what if did my life have meaning? It's weird because I don't necessarily know. I don't necessarily know like what other than music what gives my life meaning. Like obviously like I have a piece of shit little puppy and that's cool. And like obviously Nichelle is meaningful. But it's like man, if I were to fucking just eat it, what's the what am I what did I leave behind? What did I miss? What did I not accomplish? I guess it kind of goes along with the same thing. It's like the not 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 accomplishing the things that you wanted to. I guess it's kind of the same thing. I guess you know because I do. I want to. I've worked very hard for a music career. I'm still working very hard, and I'll continue to work very hard. And it's yeah, all that would just go away into just deep dark blackness or hell or heaven, whatever fucking happens. We don't know. Yeah. No, and speaking of, I know this is kind of weird, but the I was thinking about this too. But our album of the week, and you know, I'm trying to give it a little bit of a grim, take some of the grim. The grim subject matter away with this is the album of the week, and I'll explain. You know, it's Nigeria's 70. It's actually a compilation album of 1970s Afro funk, high life, and juju from 1970s Lagos, and
slap that on your record player.
yeah, you should.
That was good. Sorry, I was proud of that.
Yeah, my dog ate my vinyl cleaner today, so it was the juice that you squirt on it. So, but she didn't puncture the bottle, so I still have it. But she's still a piece of shit for that. But no, the reason I decided on this one is because in a past episode I was talking about, you know, and I say this so I've been saying this so often now, but it's like. You know, the whole music is God thing and following the whispers of God. And this music is what gave my life new meaning, if that makes sense. Like, I found something that I feel like was in me my whole life in this type of music, and I haven't been the same since I've listened to this.
Feel that.
You know, I've gone a new direction in my life, and you know, because you gotta think too. It's like musicians, just like anybody else, you don't get bored, but you get caught in a loop, you know. And we've talked about this before. It's like you get caught in a loop, and you kind of have to fight your way out of. You kind of have to fight your way out of a loop, whether it be like just sitting there and doing the same beat, and you realize, oh shit. All I do is the same beat, or like I do the same run of notes, or something like that, and you kind of have to like keep working with what you're doing, and those things become part of your repertoire. They become part of your shtick as a musician. But it's like sometimes you're like, now I'm almost depressed because I can't find what I'm looking for. I'm trying to progress. I'm trying to find new avenues to run my little fingies down, you know? And so, and it's just this Nigerian music and this Afro beat and this Afro funk and high life music and jazz and Afro jazz. And now I'm in a fucking Asian phase right now, which is very similar. Like, just cultured music is so wild. And I feel like this Afrobeat and stuff, it's so close to, like, the epitome of music. Like, the what do you call it? The epicenter of music. It's like, and I've said this to people before, but it's like whenever I listen to Afrobeat, I feel like I'm literally got my lips around the I'm sucking the syrup straight from the tree. I'm getting that fucking groove straight from the tap. You know, it's like it's so primal. Their beats are so tribal and primal, and it's like I feel I feel so human when I listen to them, and it makes me feel really good, and it just changed my whole perspective on music. And same with the Asian cultures and like Thai beat and stuff. It's like, dude, like yin yin. I've now got to the point where I'm like, I need something else. Like I powered through yin yin and I got obsessed, powered through yin yin, and now I'm like on the other side, the ass end of my obsession with them already, and it's only been like a week. And I'm like, dude, now I'm like, I need to find something else because it's just God syrup is just
I don't know if
is so enticing. It's so addicting.
do you go to like their like radios or something?
I have and I am, and I found some good
where
stuff.
I find honestly, I just let that shit play continuously, and then if I find something I really like, you know, I'll just hit like, and let it keep playing, you know, and then come back to it later. Because I have so many different fucking artists and bands from that whole fucking genre or whatever the fuck that is, you know. Like, I'm obsessed with it too. Like that Los Bichos. I love those. You should get obsessed with them because they have some really cool fucking riffs and shit in there.
I've definitely been listening to Los Bichos. Literally, that's what I'm doing. The exact same thing. I've created stations. I've been listening to them. It gets to that point too where. And this is what I hate about Spotify and Apple Music is like their algorithm, I'm going to be honest, for creating stations sucks donkey dick because you create a station and it's like it's only a matter of time before it starts recycling through the same songs again. And then I'm like, yeah, I already found like so you have to like go and mine through more and more and more and more. And it's like, dude, show me something crazy already.
Spotify eventually after because sometimes it'll play a couple of songs like a few times within like the period of how long the playlist is, and after it gets to the time into the playlist, it'll start cycling different ones, the suggestion songs and stuff and shit I haven't heard yet from that playlist.
Right, but it's like it's very few and far between. It's like I'm like I'll play like 1-Inch Punch Radio by Yin Yin, and it's like every 20 songs they'll play 1-Inch Punch again, and then they'll play Sitar Funk Group or something again, and then it's just like every like 20-30 songs is a new one, and then they're recycling, and like it's just difficult to find new music because there's fucking trillions of songs out there, and it's like I don't understand why these music apps like show me something like new in general. It's like if I want you to play that song again, I'll fucking like the song, I'll add it, I'll listen to it. Just keep showing me new shit. I don't understand why it has to do that to me. But no, like I'm finding all sorts of shit. But you know, it's hard to keep up with. But yeah, so Afrobeat, Thai beat, Lalam is dope. Oh damn, shit, fuck. Segway. This is Phantom Sam and the Segways. Anyways, yeah, I guess there's not much more to say about that other than yeah, Apple Music and Spotify are very hit or miss. It just depends on what you're doing with it and what you're listening to and all that shit.
I think I've got it figured out though.
I mean, you think that until it starts repeating shit on you again.
I don't. Today it really hasn't.
It's only a matter of time, though. But something crazy about the dad episode. I actually just realized, and I wanted to mention this is me and my dad on that episode, I was talking to him about how the song or a fond memory of me and my father, a song that reminded me of fond memory of my father was the song by the Police, the do 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 da 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 song, and I haven't heard that song since that memory, right? I've never heard that song since then, right? I've looked it up. But I always had this weird thing about it where I was like, I don't know if I want to hear it again. Like, because it's how memories work is that the reason memories get hazy and dilute is because every time you remember a memory, you're remembering the last time you remembered it, and so memories fade and become hazy, and it's like that's a very potent memory of mine, and so I like never wanted to listen to it. What's crazy is my dad hadn't really either, and then on his drive home, he texted me and he's like, "That song came on the radio," and I was like, what the absolute fuck?
That's kind of nuts.
It's kind of crazy, yeah. But I thought that was very interesting, to be honest with you. But also I wanted to mention that last night I think I did something crazy. I from the store purchased espresso, right? And what I did with it, I invented. It probably already exists. I don't want to say I invented it, but I made espresso peanut butter.
Nice.
And I call it Phantom Sam's Speedy Bean Butter.
You fucking dumb.
And it's coming to a Walmart near you. Spring of fucking
84.
80. No, I don't want to say that's like 50 years from now.
I just spitballing.
I hope it'd come out. Actually, you know what? It's never coming out. It's just for me. You can't have it. But no, I'm gonna go ahead and segue to the segment of the show, Phantom Sam and the Fictions. This is the segment of the show. For those of you who don't know, over the course of the week, me, one of us, if not both of us, will come up with fictitious band names, and we will bullshit about whether or not they, what genre they would play, what real life band they would open for, what their first album would be, what their attire would be, their shtick, their niche, whatever the fuck it is. This is Phantom Sam and the Fictions. Space Cam, do you have any fictions this week? Well, I got 3 fun ones for us, all right? So, I'm going to go with fictitious band name number 1, Glass Quacks.
They all dress up in duck suits.
Well, or Glass.
Or it's Howard the Duck. He makes a band.
I feel like
it would be like a punk 80s band.
I feel like you already said that once. You said a Howard the Duck band once. Yeah, you did.
I don't.
You definitely did. I'll even look back. I edit the show. I don't edit it, but I do look back on the show. And I'm pretty sure, absolutely, you said a Howard the Duck band once. If there's people out there that do watch this show on a regular basis, please comment.
Howard the Duck band, dude.
And confirm whether.
I remember saying that.
You definitely said a Howard the Duck band one time, or
genius movie.
Something to do. Well, it's debatable, but. I don't have anything against it, but it's definitely debated on the internet.
George Lucas is definitely weird for that one.
Yeah, it's considered also one of the worst movies ever made, but
yeah, I mean, yeah. Honestly,
I've never seen it.
So. It's good for what it is. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've never seen it, so I can't speak on it. But I've obviously on.
It's an '80s movie. I'll tell you that.
Well, '80s was a terrible time for everything.
Like 80s movies, though.
Everything was coke-fueled and jagged and weird. And had weird...
Fucking sports cars and fucking jackets that got patterns that don't fucking match.
That's the thing, yeah. And leotards, casual leotards.
Fucking roller skates.
Leg warmers, yeah.
Fucking sweatbands.
Sweatbands are still a thing,
fucking
I think.
Fanny packs? Well, fanny packs are a thing still.
They didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, everything sucked. The music was awful, I'm going to be honest with you. This being a music podcast, 80s music, not my bag. Not hating on it, but it's just not good. But, anyways, glass quacks. We're talking about the glass quacks here, all right? Quack, quack, quack. Glass quacks. Glass quacks came from actually the Derek episode where we were talking about the quackiness of a Stratocaster bridge pickup. It has it's like a quacky, nasally,
Right.
glassy sound, and I was like, glass. It quacks, and it's glassy, glass quacks. It's glass quacks. Yeah, but it also, I can't help but think of glass beams for some reason, only because of the word glass. But I don't think they would have anything to do with each other.
Glass beans?
Glass beans, yeah, glass. Ooh, that would hurt. Glass beans. Just chewing glass. Just shards of glass. Glass quacks, man. I feel like they would.
I'm punk, dude.
I don't think they would be punk. I don't know. I can't see them being punk. I respect your.
But they had to be wearing them the like duck suits. It's funny. It's not.
I feel like they would have some sort of elegant imagery to them, like almost like they wouldn't sound like Lady Gaga, but you know how like extravagant her like stage performances are. I feel like they would be like Elton John, Lady Gaga type of extravagance.
I can dig that.
Or something. The glass quacks, but then but that's only with the thought of the glass. When you think of the quack part of it, then that kind of like cancels out the elegance to me. So I'm like, I don't know what they would. I feel like they would just have like. Then it just makes me think of ice fucking swan sculptures for some reason. It's like, what is that? What is that about? I don't even know what music they would play.
What is that about?
I don't know what music they would play, to be honest with you. Glass quacks. Oh, man.
I love that.
I think, what if they played, like, some sort of, like,
No, I'm just kidding.
electronic punk? That's not a thing. I would love to see what an electronic punk would be. Like EDM punk. You know what?
I feel. Well, honestly, I don't know. Like when I hear EDM punk, it reminds me of Fifth Element, just like the year, like the setting.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like the feel, the vibe of it. It gives that vibe of whatever fucking year it is in that fucking setting.
It's like
of
a
that
future
movie. Yeah.
Futuristic movie, isn't it?
It's a fucking dope movie.
See, I can't get into it. Everybody's talking about The Fifth Element.
It's a childhood staple.
Yeah, but I still I watched it, and everyone was like, "Dude, you gotta watch this movie. You gotta watch this movie." And I watched it, and it's like I don't even see it. Like I don't even see what makes it.
He just turned 70, I think.
Who? Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
Oh, he could be any age he wants because he can't. He has aphasia or whatever now. Did you not know that?
No.
He's not there anymore. That's why he doesn't act.
Oh, yeah.
He has no memory of anything. He's just an empty shell of a person, apparently. I might be wrong, but he definitely has aphasia or something, which
sucks because he's one of the greatest actors of all time.
Yeah, there was a rumor that he sold his character to AI, basically. So, they have rights to take him and put him in movies, but be CGI, so that he could still be an actor, but he wouldn't actually be in the movie. I don't know how accurate that is, but I'm pretty sure that was at least a thing, maybe 5 years ago. Somebody that it was in the news. Because it was AI started ramping up, and it was people being able to sell their likeness to a robot or to a company to use a robot to recreate them using computer.
It's almost like that movie Surrogate.
Which is Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what are the full circle on that one?
He's now a sir. We used to call whenever we all were like, heavy smokers. We used to joke around because there was that kid that was like, I don't know if you remember that kid that went viral, and he's like, I want to do hood rat stuff with my friends, like to smoke with cigarettes. And we would always say cigarettes, and then somebody was like surrogates, and then we started calling cigarettes Bruce Willis because of surrogates. So we'd be like, can I get a Lucy Brucey? That's what we said. We would be like, you got a loose Bruce? I want a Bruce Willie. You got that loose Bruce? But yeah, Glass Quacks, electronic punk, Fifth Element soundtrack music, I guess, or neo-futurist electronic punk music. There we go. We nailed it. Fictitious band name number 2. Nut Mustard.
I gotta ask, where did that come from?
Well, I already told you, and I'm not going to say it on the air. You just probably haven't made the connection yet.
Oh.
But, yeah. Jizz, dude. But, yeah. We can just go ahead and move on from that one if you'd like. Because I don't honestly think that they would... I don't even know if that's even a band name, to be real with you. Nut Mustard, it just sounds like a thing. But,
Got nutmeg mustard.
Well, no, yeah. Yep, let's just move on from that one. Fictitious band name number 3. Actually, you know what? Before we move on, Nut Mustard, we're going to move on from it. But if you out there have anything to say or input on what it might, what kind of genre of music they would play or anything like that, yeah, shoot us a comment. We would love to know what you think of Nut Mustard. But fictitious band name number 3, Shotgun French Press.
Dude.
Yep, I've definitely.
Yeah.
I shotgunned a French press. Yeah.
Did you really?
No, I just right now, like this is what gave me the idea. There's a little bit in there. I was just doing this. And I was drinking out of it because there's only a very little left. And so I was like, man, I'm just going to shotgun this French press. And it actually started off as French press shotgun. And then Michelle was like, that could actually go both ways. French press shotgun or shotgun French press. But I finally decided on shotgun French press because I thought it kind of rolled off the tongue a little better.
Sounds more.
But shotgun French press, so I feel like there's a little bit of, if you break it down, shotgun, there's a little bit of southern rock in there. French press, though, could be like either like indie coffee shop music. So, southern indie coffee shop music. They could play, because I feel like French press is like indie, I don't know, it gives me indie vibes for some reason. Like almost like, what's that one band that, oh shit, I forgot what they were called, but they have that song, Breakneck Speed. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, that's gonna kill me. Now I gotta think of now I gotta remember what that song is called, or what that band is. But it gives me that like indie vibe, like almost like the Strokes or something for some reason, like something.
The Strokes.
Yeah, or like something like that. But French press also makes me think of coffee, obviously, because the French press is coffee, and so coffee.
They all dress up like Mr. Rogers.
Something like that. I mean, kind of like Oakley Dokley.
Yeah, I was going to think of it.
But Mr. Rogers, shotgun French press. Now that makes now I'm on the Oakley Dokley thing, and I don't know. I feel like shotgun French press could also be like a nerd metal band, like Oakley Dokley. But now it's like if they're dressing up as Mr. Rogers, I feel like that's too close I feel like they would be on this. They could open up for Oakley Dokley, but I feel like that'd be too close of a call, or too close of a similarity if they were to dress up as Mr. Rogers and also play nerd metal. You know, so I'm like, because Shotgun could be like metally. I just feel like I got fucking coffee in my beard.
Beard.
Makes your beard grow faster, but you know, that's and I am a doctor, so look that up. Anyway, Google that shit.
He actually looked it up. You got a PhD.
I do. It's just me dressed up as Mr. Rogers, and I'm holding a diploma with a fucking graduation cap.
Press on your head.
Yeah, I always thought whenever you know, because you go to, obviously you graduated high school, right? I don't think I've ever even asked you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I barely graduated high school.
Same.
No, but it's always funny to see like the teachers, and they look like fucking like Jedis. They're like in these big, elaborate robes, like with this like sashes and shit. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't even remember what my point was bringing that up.
Y'all need to be carrying a lightsaber.
Yeah. There's like one teacher that was like, he looked like he could be in Star Wars or something. So whenever he had the robe on, it was like, I feel like he could just like open his fucking side robe and just be like, whoosh, and his saber would come out and he'd be like, go to the principal's office or some shit. I don't know. Fuck. But Shotgun French Press, I feel like that's. I mean, what do you think? Is it, okay?
I agree.
What the southern nerd metal or the southern?
The nerd metal.
Southern indie coffee shop nerd metal. Holy shit! There we go. That's like 20 genres in one. That they could be. Anyways, and they would open up for Oakley Dokley and Jack Johnson, Banana Pancakes, motherfucker. I don't know why I said that, but that'd be an eclectic bill. Only because it's like coffee shop music, but you know what, Hawaiian shit. I guess that concludes Phantom Sam and the Fictions. That was I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's always a fun time doing the fictions, and I actually came up with one earlier, and I never wrote it down, and now I'm kind of pissed about it because I don't know if I remember what it is. God damn it. Anyways, I have another question, Space Camp. You know, and since we're going into this Terror on Tour, the Tales from the Reddit Road Dog, I was curious, what is the most bizarre experience you've ever had traveling? Like, even if it's not on tour or nothing, it's like any amount of traveling you've ever done. And in audience, you can feel free to answer this. I know it's a double question in that, but if you've made it this far, what is the... Hang on. What is the... you know, if the audience wants to answer this as well, it's what is the most bizarre experience you've ever had during travel? Space Camp.
Yeah, I think it actually was. It was on tour, going on like a 3 or 4 day run with Dre and Clay and a few others and stuff. And it was like during the winter and shit. I think we were in like Kansas City, like from like Kansas City, Lawrence, Topeka, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And
I'm listening. I'm fixing my shit.
So, something happened, and next thing we know, like, the whole fucking vehicle is spinning around like 70 miles an hour. We hit the fucking, the median.
Yeah.
Like, hard.
A psychic median? Not a medium. Just kidding.
No, we hit it hard, and then it threw us in the middle of traffic and shit.
That's scary. Was it icy?
I think some of the people in front of us hit it, and then we tried to miss it and ended up hitting them. I think we hit it, or I don't know what happened, but it was fucking crazy.
I hope you had insurance.
They did. And then the car, funny thing about that, the car ended up getting stolen from off the side of the road because it was like totaled.
The car you were in?
No, yeah.
The car you hit.
the car that we were in at the time got stolen and ended up all going to Columbia. Somebody drove it all the way to Columbia and shit. Like,
See, I feel like that's what makes, because people get in car crashes all the time. I feel like the fact that it got stolen off the side of the road is what truly makes that story bizarre, in my opinion. It's because it's like,
because we left it, you know, like there was no.
Well,
Like, there was no way. That was crazy that they fucking drove it.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you can't drive it, you got to leave it.
Yeah.
But, no, I've thought about this. I honestly, this was my first question I was going to ask at the beginning of the episode. But I didn't think that, I didn't think it was deep enough, you know. But it also went along with the topic of the episode. So, I've had several bizarre experiences on the road. It's like me and my buddy.
I just remembered one.
Go ahead then. Go ahead.
Sorry, Dad. There's this one time. I think I had to have been 6 years old or something, and Dad fell asleep at the wheel.
Oh, fun! That's a lovely. Throw your dad under the bus.
Yeah, that's why I said sorry, Dad.
No pun intended.
It was like Lawson area, and it hit the gas line, and they like lost fucking gas for like weeks and shit.
I think you already told me that. Actually,
have I?
Yeah, I think you told me that once.
And then
they don't know, but
when we ended up like walking through a field or some shit, and I don't know. Rest like Grandpa's soul. I don't know what he did, but that's all I gotta say about that.
What do you mean?
Because that was like a lot of money. Like,
oh, so you're saying? So you didn't give any context to that. So you're saying you're saying that your grandpa did something to save your dad's ass from getting in trouble.
Yeah, dude.
You have told me this story.
Yeah.
Before,
yeah.
They don't know. They don't know though. I'm just saying. You have told me this before.
Yeah, no. Like he did something.
AKA.
I don't know. Fucking not. Now if I didn't have my seatbelt on, I would and rolled it in the floor. I would have died.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. That is wild. That's like that episode of Family Guy where he hits the power and everybody's out of power and he builds I don't know if you've seen the classic Family Guy episode where he builds a belt that has like a fake TV frame on it, and so he just like walks around town because there's no power, so he can't watch TV. Yeah. And he's like watching like the bag blow in the wind. And it's like it's dancing in the wind. But no, I've had a lot of experience. I've had quite a few bizarre experiences, but a lot of them have been like my friends have been the cause of the bizarre experience. Like shit I've gotten into with like, okay, this is the most bizarre. Oh, dude, oh my god, I totally forgot about this one.
After yours, I got a funny one.
Just go ahead.
No, I want to hear yours.
Mine's kind of not long-winded, but it's so, you know, me and my buddy Gabe, whom you met when we played Kirby's in Wichita, me and him have gone on crazy excursions over the years, and we've been most of the time we spent in Memphis and stuff, and just had crazy adventures there. But one time, me and Nichelle, we hadn't seen Gabe in a couple years, and so we went and we picked him up in Wichita, and we went to Colorado. We went to it's right outside of Colorado Springs. We went to Manitou Springs, which is like right at the foot of the mountain, like at the bottom of the Garden of the Gods, and it was it was beautiful. But Gabe, he's a gregarious motherfucker, right? And so he loved to I think I get it. I get my love for talking to strangers from two people, my dad and Gabe, all right? And it's kind of weird to put them two in the same boat, but it's kind of true. Gabe's one of those people that always got me interested in strangers, but he decided to one night he walked away from our motel room And me and Michelle were like, where the fuck did he go? Because we were drinking heavily at that era of our life. And it was Colorado, and weed was legal, so we were buying, and the motel was right next door to the dispensary, so we were just buying boatloads of pot. Or it's an exaggeration, but as much as we could. So we were smoking weed and drinking heavily. And Gabe runs away because there's this one dude that's just walking down the street, and he's like, he's like, dude, what the we hear him screaming in the street. And this girl drives past, screeches past and is flipping him off. This dude's girlfriend ended up breaking up with him, right? And just speeding off. So we're being nice. We asked this guy to come over, and there's a patio outside of the motel, and we smoked weed with him and stuff. And then it was just kind of weird. We were all drunk and thought it was funny. And then the guy left. Gabe follows the guy, but the guy goes off somewhere else. We don't know where the guy went. And so Gabe... We didn't know where.
Follows him?
Yeah, they were just talking, and they walked up to this gas station. But I was like, Nichelle was like, where'd Gabe go? And I was like, I guess just go back in the motel room, lock the door. I'll go walk around the town and try to find Gabe, because it was kind of like a small little village. It was more like a mountain village than a town. It was all one road. So I start walking up to to this gas station, and Gabe's just sitting there in front of the gas station like talking to this homeless guy, right? And this homeless guy, he had long greasy hair, and he had little rubber bands in it, you would tie it up, you would put braids, but there was no braids. It was just little pieces of rubber band in his hair. And he introduced himself as Romulus. Right? He's like, they call me Romulus. So I sit down with him, and so because I'm drunk too, and so we start talking to this guy, and he's like, he starts mentioning acid, LSD, and shit. And so, at that time we were drunk, and so we were like, dude, that sounds fucking fun as shit. Let's get some acid in fucking Manitou Springs from a homeless guy. That's the wildest fucking thing you could think of, right? And so we start talking to him, and we're talking to him for a little while, and then he's like, and at that time, me and Gabe considered ourselves Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn, right? You're familiar with the story, because that's what we did. We would run around together and just do. And Tom Sawyer was the asshole of the group, and Huck Finn was the more reserved. I was Huck Finn. Gabe was the gregarious asshole, right? That would bribe me into doing his bidding for him at that time. Not really, but I'm joking. But that was our personality traits were more akin to those But he starts describing where he can get this acid for us from, who he can get it. And he says there's this guy named Dumpster, right? And he's the sheriff of the homeless village. Right? And he's like, you'll know exactly who he is because he has a face full of tattoos. He's got a machete on his back. He's got a revolver on his hip and a dog on his shoulder. And we're like, we have to meet this character because the character of Dumpster did not, it didn't even register that it could be a real person. We're like, this guy's fucked up and he's making this dude up. Right?
It wasn't a real person.
So we're getting so then he's like, I'll get your acid for you. And then he just gets up and jogs away into the night. Because it's 2 a.m. I might add context to the time frame. It's 2 a.m. And he just jogs off into the night. And he's like, I'll be back. And it's we don't even know where to meet this guy or whatever. But the way the Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn thing comes in though is he was like the magic hobo, right? That was in our heads the whole weekend. He was like, because we were talking to him and he's like, man, you guys are like Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. And me and Gabe just look at each other and we're like, what the fuck? This guy's psychic, some kind of scary magic hobo guy, right? Moving on, We go into the town the next morning. Me and Gabe go back. On our way through, Gabe climbs into the window or goes into a motel, because we get kicked out of our motel room. Not for any reason, but it was checkout time, and somebody had reserved that room for the next day, so that we had to go find a new motel. Gabe goes in to this one, and it's a Russian guy that owns the place, and he's like, doesn't speak any English. He's like, you buy a room, there's no rooms. And Gabe got so upset with this guy for some reason that he walks out the front door, around the building, climbs in the window of the laundry room of the motel of this Russian guy's, climbs back out the window, and he gets in the car, and he's like, hey, you guys want some free towels and soaps and shit?
What the
He just robbed this dude, right? And this was like 2016, by the way, so this was a long time ago. I'm pretty sure statute of limitations, but this, like I said, this is a long story, so I want to. But we're already in the thick of it, so I need to keep going with it. But so we meet up with this Romulan, or no. We go into the town, right, and Gabe disappears again. And we find, me and Michelle kind of meander through the town, and we're like shopping. I buy this like this poncho from this Mexican guy. We're like just doing the thing you do as a tourist, you know. And so Gabe, we find him, and he's like, hey dude, guess what? And I was like, what? Because we run into Gabe again, and he's like, dumpster's real. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. I talked to him, and I want you to meet him. And so we go, and we described it as, you've seen Peter Pan, right?
Yeah.
It was the Lost Boys. Like, it was, you know what I'm talking about? The group of, like, the Lost Children. It was literally, there was cops in the square, right, that were just always there, right? This dumpster guy, I was like, you know, I was thinking about it, and I see him from the back. Right, and all I seen was a machete on his back, a revolver on his hip, a dog on his shoulder, and then he turns around and he has a face full of tattoos. And I'm like, this guy didn't make him up. He's a real human being. And he was working alongside the cops. He was like the sheriff of the Lost Boys. It was weird. He was the Peter Pan.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so we it was funny because like we go and eat something, right? And Gabe befriends the waitress, and the waitress is not homeless, but she hangs out with the homeless people. And so all the people have this understanding that whenever you have leftover food from a restaurant, you go and you give it to the homeless kids. And it was weird because they always give it to Dumpster, and Dumpster like divvies it to who's the hungriest. Like he like keeps them fed and takes care of them and everything.
That's awesome.
It was fucking wild. And there was this kid that comes up, and he's just like dirty and dingy, just blue jeans and a white t-shirt, and his name was Trash Can. So it was like funny because it was like Dumpster was like the head honcho, and Trash Can was like mini little Dumpster, right? And the girl that we befriended, the waitress at the restaurant, she brought food to the homeless people, and she gives it to Dumpster, and Dumpster like shoves it at this kid named Trash Can, and he's like, "Put this down your gullet." And it was just fun, like they were joking around at each other. And then they all just had instruments. They had like banjos and mandolins and guitars,
awesome.
And they're just sitting there fucking jamming out of nowhere, and it's like, this is magical.
That's cool.
Yeah.
If we have a chance to go through Colorado, we need to go through Colorado.
Absolutely. I would love to go to Colorado. The story's not over yet,
I
though.
know.
Okay?
Colorado is one of my favorite places.
What's weird is so finally we periodically we don't know where this Romulus fellow is. And when we were in the square talking to the group, we realized he's on the outskirts. So I come to this conclusion that I think he isn't well received by the rest of the homeless community. He's a very weird character compared to the rest of them. And it was weird because we like earlier in the day we were listening to this Jimi Hendrix song, right? And I can't remember which song it was, but we were listening to it in private. Like, it was in our motel room. There's no way anybody else could have known we were listening to this song. We're walking through the town later, and the road kind of splits off, but one of them's like an alleyway, but it goes to another, like the road like ends and becomes an alley. So it was kind of weird. It was like a witchy, like almost like Eureka Springs. It was kind of like the kind of weird witchy vibe to it. And so we decided to split off, and we go down this alley, and then we just, from a distance, we start hearing somebody singing this Jimi Hendrix song that we were listening to, like I said, in private earlier in the day. And it's him, it's Romulus. He's jogging, and he like comes up right beside us, and he like does that thing where like when you're running and you turn backwards, and you're like, and he's looking at us but running still the same way, like backwards. And he's singing this song and staring at us, and then he just like flips back around and then just disappears. And we got really weirded out because we were like, there's no way, like, is he like spying on us or something, or you know what I mean? It was really strange. And then finally later in the night, we invite these we give these two homeless people a ride to our, in hindsight it was kind of a scary idea, but we brought these two homeless people to our motel room because one of them played the didgeridoo, and we were just super drunk and interested, right? We were like, you should just come and get high with us and play the didgeridoo, and you guys just hang out. One of them's name, can't remember the one that played the didgeridoo, I forgot her name. The other one's name was like Starburst or something, like very like Manson-esque hippie type people. And we get there, and we're smoking weed, and Romulus shows up, but he introduces himself as Glitch. He's no longer Romulus, which was another red flag. Like, what's your fucking name, dude? He procured the acid, right? And it was just kind of weird because he was sitting outside our motel room the whole night, and we were out there smoking cigarettes and shit. And you know how somebody, like, if you don't have a lighter, somebody will ask you for your lit cigarette, and they'll dab it on the end to light theirs? He asked for my cigarette, and it was kind of, and I'm a very not paranoid person, but I'm very aware and cautious especially with strangers, and especially weird strangers. I give him my cigarette, and you know how like potent and easy acid is to get high off of. If you touch it with your skin, you can get high off of it, right? So he takes my cigarette, and I see him pull out a tube of something, because I'm like, kind of like, he's sitting here, and I'm just kind of like eyeing him from the side, like trying to make him think that I'm not paying attention to him, but I totally am. And he dips his fingers in something, and then he touches where the mouth part of my cigarette, and then he lights his cigarette and he gives it back to me. And I thought that was really weird, so I threw my cigarette away immediately. Like, I made him think like I grabbed it, and then I was just like sitting there for like a minute go past without hitting it, and then I just threw it in the ashtray and lit a new one, because I was like, there's no way I'm putting my mouth on something I don't know what that is. And so that was weird. And yeah. Oh, and then he got super pissed off at me because I didn't want to do the acid. I was like, dude, I was super drunk and I didn't. We bought the acid. I was just like, I'm not going to do it. And then he was like, you pussy? Are you scared? And like was like no. And then that happened. So I think he was trying to dose me, which was fucking scary.
Oh my god.
But and so Gabe was the only one that ended up doing the acid that night. And then he was just like, the girls left, and he was like, it's because I shit myself. He didn't shit himself. He was just so fucked up on the acid that he thought he shit himself. But,
that's awesome. I love Gabe.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
It's
goofy bastard.
But this guy, it just seemed like periodically he was fucking spying on us or something the whole weekend. It was like, and it wasn't even like I think he was physically spying on us. I don't know. I can't explain to you what I mean, but it was almost like he was like psychically spying on us. Like he was this magic, weird hobo. I don't know how to explain it to this day, how this guy knew things about us. There's even more that I can't think of, so if I think of them, I will revisit this story, because this is a fucking wild story.
Yeah, that's actually kind of really dope. Probably the coolest story you have.
Dude, it's definitely
So
one
far.
of the best, yeah. The other ones other stories of like in Memphis were just crackheads being crackheads. Like, Nichelle almost got smacked by a crackhead. But yeah, he like walked up and like smacked the wall next to her, and then was just like dap, 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 and like scurried off, and it was like, the fuck. But you know, just like weird stuff like that. But yeah, that's my bizarre experience. It's kind of funny because I wasn't going to tell that story. I just remember that story just now, like, or I guess whenever I started telling it 20 minutes ago. But do you even remember what your next story was?
Yeah, it's not really bizarre. It was just like kind of funny and kind of like scary at the same time.
Yeah.
It was me and Steven and his ex-girlfriend at the time. Well, his girlfriend at the time. And we were just driving down the road, and his wheel fucking pops off. And then it goes past us, and he's like, what the fuck? And then on down by my dad's road and shit.
Yeah.
And somehow we found all the lug nuts to his tire.
I think you told me that one too. It's okay. Like I said, it's okay because the
It was
audience.
probably one of the funniest things.
That's crazy. I mean, we almost lost that wheel on the last tour. I mean, technically we did. It just was still attached. You know,
Hey,
the ball
man,
drum.
that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it's funny because I took the van dropped the van off at my brother's shop, and he was basically like, he's like, what's wrong with it? Why the service engine light comes on is the throttle sensor. So basically, the van doesn't know where the throttle is. It's a throttle positioning signal. So that's why it would kind of like jolt and do weird shit.
Oh, thank God.
It's because every time like I would hit the throttle and stuff, the sensor would be picking up where it is the position of the throttle would be, but then it would basically forget or lose track, and then it would like do weird shit and shift weird. And so it's just that. And there's a couple other things that I'm getting replaced too, but that was why the service engine light was on.
Oh, shit.
But it was
How'd
fun.
you figure that out?
He just ran the computer. He had one of those old computer, like a 90s model, like computer reader thing.
You have to have the 90s, talk to the 90s stuff.
Well, he first read the error codes with a paper clip and a wire thing. Like there's a way to jerry rig an error code thing. It's kind of weird, and it's actually kind of dope. But
that's cool.
yeah. But what I was getting at is he was showing me, he's like, hey, I can get you this $40 sensor, or I can get you this $25 sensor. They're both almost the same, but the $25 one is the same brand as the ball joint that failed. So I would recommend you not get that one. I was like, could you imagine if we were just driving down the road and a throttle sensor falls out of the fucking... You know what I mean? Anyways, guys, we're gonna take a little break here and get to the delectable, delicious purple center of the show, which is the jam portion. And when we get back, I'll do a quick weekend recap, and we'll get to the topic of the show, which is terror on tour, tales from the Reddit Road Dog. When the crescendo comes crashing, adventures tender underside, the grime and mold growing beneath the glitter and glam. That being said, let's get to the jam portion of the show. Show's over.
Twice now.
I think we need to find that nut. Because I dropped it in the middle of somebody's set the last show.
Yeah, I did. Usually don't have a problem. There's only when I hit it with my hands. Why are you still clapping?
I don't know, actually. I don't know why. Anyways, welcome to the jam portion of the show. If you made it this far, fuck yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and I wanted to.
The angry part of the show.
This is the part of the show where you're probably going to lose interest because of our frustrations and pissed-offery, which is a word I just made up.
The universe is good to us today. Well,
Yes, please.
We want to shout out, get our hopes up.
She's a very cruel bitch sometimes. And I'm ringing a little bit. Maybe that chick.
But that was cool. We chit.
Yeah. Check. That's a little better. I wanted to tell you a funny story, right? So, when we get back from this jam portion, I'm going to get into our weekend recap where we played Summersville Smoke Fest. So, we get there, and there happens to be some of the best weed prices ever, okay? I'm not a pot smoker, as you know if you follow the show. No matter how I might look or act, I'm not a pot smoker. But my fiance is a pot smoker, and Space Camp shows up. I wake up in the morning. He shows up, and he's like, they have $50 ounces at this vendor. And so I text my fiance, and I was like, they have $50 ounces. Would you like me to purchase you one? And she's like, fuck yeah. So when I purchased the ounce, they came with a tube of 2 complimentary pre-rolled joints, right? So, if you follow the show, you also know that I have a brand new shitbird puppy, okay?
Oh, dude.
Now let me finish this story, because this is kind of fucked up. But, no matter where we put stuff, this dog finds a way to chew up our shit and eat it, no matter what it is, whether it be bottles of paint, fucking vinyl record cleaner, and plastic tubes full of joints, right? So this past Sunday, we wake up, and I wake up in the morning. Michelle had already been about her day, and I wake up, and for some reason, Michelle's like, so the tube of joints is gone. I don't know where it went, and so we start finding plastic pieces everywhere. And then where Nichelle usually sits on the couch is just a bunch of weed, loose weed, and like some little shreds of paper, right? And before we found this, we were kind of concerned because Pearl, the puppy, was kind of being lethargic. It was acting very strange, right? Nichelle can't find her, finds her in her mom's room, standing there, just staring at the door with drool coming out of her mouth, right? It's funny now because she's fine, but dogs process marijuana differently because it doesn't have to burn for them to consume it and it take effect. Like we have to bake it and remove the THCA and convert it to THC. That's what happens when you light it on fire or you bake it in the oven. It converts its molecular structure that actually gets you high. Dogs can just eat it. And she ate a whole joint, right? Almost a whole, not even a whole joint. This is how strong weed is nowadays, I feel like. But she's also by weight. It's a little different. She consumed this joint, and the whole day, she was the sweetest dog in the world, but we were so concerned because she was like, I'm not exaggerating when I'm telling you how much drool. Like, there was literally like puddles the size of your floor tom, like of drool under her face. Like she would be laying on the floor for like 2 hours, and she would like lift her head up, and there would just be a floor tom size
puddle of drool under her, and then we would try to feed her, she would scarf it down and then puke. And so we're like, oh shit, we're gonna have to take her to the vet because there's such a thing dogs can endure of marijuana toxicity, which it can harm them. Pretty much they get so high they just die. But we were dealing with that on Sunday, so she was literally just like high as shit, and we had to like constantly check to see if she was still breathing and everything, because she was just, but it was so fucking, it's funny now because we realized like, oh, she was just so fucking high. But I thought that was a funny story.
No, I was kind of curious where you were going to go with that one.
Yeah, honestly, I was taking it very lightly, but Nichelle was rather worried about it. I realize now that I'm like, oh shit, I probably should have not taken it so lightly. Because I don't ever think that marijuana would kill anybody, even an animal. So it's like, it's weird to think that it could. But now I know that it can. Anyway. Our conversation portion of the show ran a little long, so I don't know why I decided to tell that story whenever we're trying to keep this jam kind of short.
Well, then, speaking of, I feel like we're already 11 minutes in.
Well, I wouldn't say 11 minutes, but we're still going to do a 15-minute jam, but set that for 15 minutes. Don't start it yet, obviously. We are going to roll over here to the dice camera. We're going to do the dice roll.
Piss jam.
Piss jam?
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys that don't know, we're going to do our ceremonial roll of the dice to decide, the universe is going to decide our jam for us. Space Camp is going to take the keys and the qualities, and I'm going to take the time signature and the accent beat. So here's your 2 dice. On the count of 7, we're going to roll on the 8. I don't know why, but actually, let's do 8 and roll on the 9. Okay. That sounds fun. So, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This isn't the same thing we got last time.
On the 1, at least.
So, we have the key of G, a quality of diminished. Time signature is 3-4 with an accent on the 1. That's my amp doing shit I don't want it to do.
It sounds like the reverb. You stopped that, right?
Alright. Anyways, guys, I will repeat. We are in the key of G with a quality of diminished. Our time signature is 3-4 with an accent on the 1. Waltzy beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Heavy on the 1. We'll get the accent after. Just focus on the 3-4.
No, I'm getting confused with 2-4.
That's just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1, 2.
I can't hear it.
Shall we go? Briefly, I think.
Okay.
It's something I'm gonna have to go back and look at.
Let me know if I did, because I thought that was a little closer with that one than last time.
Yeah, it's very difficult to like try to.
And I fell in at 4-4, and I was like, "Fuck! Now I can't get back into it."
Yeah, I was trying to get us back into it at the end just by doing like a. Yeah, but hey, at least we're not like super pissed off about it. At least we'll listen back to it real quick, and I'll just show you, okay? But and we should start doing. We should really start reviewing our jams, just so we can like, we can like distinguish. Like I can be like, this is where you lost it, or like this is.
Oh, I know exactly.
You know what I'm
where
saying?
I lost it. I just want to at least know if I had it in the first place.
Right. Well, I think it went fairly well. At least yeah, it went okay. Anyways, let's get back to the show.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed the jam portion of the show. We are back, and we're feeling a little jiggly. We had to jiggle a little spiggly. I don't even know what you'd call this. Hey, if Derek, if you're watching this, I want you to, in the comments, I want you to let us know what you call this thing, because we would love to know what it's called. We should no, I think we did it in the jam portion in his
We did.
in his episode. But we are here, and this is our weekend recap. This past weekend we played Summersville Smoke Fest in Summersville, Missouri. This is our second year playing it. Big shout out to Sean Price for booking us there, and Levi Doyle with the Middle of the Map Promotions, Captain Jax, Campground and RV Park, where it took place. It was fun, other than getting stuck in the mud at the end of the
like 20 minutes.
Yeah, we had to do. Thank you. I didn't get the guy's name, but thank you to the guy that pulled us out with his tractor. That was a solid move. The artist that headline was Dizzy Wright of Hobson's label, correct? He was on Hobson's.
No, they were on a label together. At one point in time.
Well, that's still cool. He's affiliated with Hobson in some way, but that's cool. And then we actually got the opportunity to open up for Josh Heinrichs of reggae fame, which was super cool. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but Dizzy Wright was a really nice guy. He was very,
I love that guy.
Very fucked up, and not in a weird way. Fucked up as in like drunk, which was still.
Dude, he's super cool, dude. He's so cool to hang out with. He's super funny.
Yeah, he told me he liked my vest, and so I thought that was very nice of him.
Yeah, he tripped over my Raiders hat. So to all my friends that are Chiefs fans, y'all know who Dizzy Wright is because I know you do. But he's a Raiders fan, so suck it.
They don't know who Dizzy Wright is, I'm sure. Not everybody does.
No, the particular group that I'm talking to.
Oh,
but if they even watch this fucking show, probably don't. But
yeah, because I'm gonna be honest, I literally Googled Dizzy Wright in the van before I watched him perform, because I had no idea who the fuck he was. I knew he was on the bill, and no shade, I just didn't know who he was, so I Googled him, and that's the only reason I know anything about him. I actually listened to like one song in the van before I went and watched him, and then he did that song, and I was like, interesting. It's kind of wild. A lot of his lyrics are pretty insightful, though. I really like them.
He's very positive.
That's what I'm saying. He said a lot of his lyrics I identified with greatly. But Josh Heinrichs, I'm not a big reggae guy. Honestly, the two artists, I'm not a huge hip-hop guy, but Dizzy was good, and I'm not a huge reggae guy either, but Josh was fucking dope, too. He just did a solo acoustic, but it was still really good, and it was a good time, good vibes all around, other than the rain and the mud. But that second day, they put all the hay down to soak up all the
Sean was mud. Like, where was this at?
Yeah, well, because that's what was kind of... The only thing that kind of sucked about it is, like, and obviously it was totally understandable and out of everybody's control, but it was like nobody wanted to approach the stage because it was just a giant mud water pit.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that sucks. But, like, everybody kind of was, like, in the background, which was still cool, but, yeah. I almost got myself... before I get to that, I do want to give a big shout-out to Stone Creek and The Collective, the other bands that were there, and so our good friend Cody Huggart, who goes by Socha. I'm proud of him. He's come a long way and with his craft, and he's getting way better. So, Cody, if you hear this, I'm proud of you, and I love you, buddy.
You.
And Jeremy, and also Jeremy was there. He didn't perform, but of Inconceivable, and they they came to support Cody and us, and I thought that was pretty cool. I'm really sour, though, about the fact that you went to sleep at 8 p.m. the first night.
I forgot about that. And then missed Dizzy Wright, dude.
Missed Dizzy Wright, and then the second night we had to leave after Josh Heinrichs, and they were already asleep, and it was like 9 p.m. It was like, what are you doing? It's a
fucking festival.
It's a music festival. It's like you're not supposed to ever go to sleep. You're supposed to just stay up in the van doing whippets all night. What are you doing? Just kidding. We didn't do whippets. But,
would have been fun.
I mean, if you're into that, I've never been into that, but I think I did it once. And sorry, parents, but I think I did it once, and I was not a fan of it. It was very discombobulating for me, and I didn't enjoy it. But and all the other artists like Storyteller 417, Twisted Split, he was a wild. Twisted Split was a wild character. There were so many. The Hicks, they were very nice people, very good performers. Yeah. There were so many on that bill though that I can't begin to even get all of their names correct, or get all of their names in general. But a huge shout out to everybody that performed.
Yeah, they had like a bunch like people from Pennsylvania. They had people from New Mexico. They had people from West Texas.
That one kid from Lubbock, he was like, I forgot his name, but I told him this, but I was so impressed by his like gumption.
Oh yeah,
because he would perform, and then he was like off in like the sticks by himself, just listening to his beats on his phone, just like he had his phone right here, and he was just practicing his rhymes like incessantly the whole weekend. And I was like, and even like the morning before when music hadn't started yet, he was like over at like a picnic table, and he was just practicing his fucking shit to people. And I was like, dude, this guy, I identify with him so much. It was like just the incessant urge to practice and keep that flow state going. And like, I don't know, it was very, very impressive to me. And I really respect that. I really respect that grind of his, you know. But I forgot his name, and it really bothers me. But
I am friends with him on Facebook right now.
Well, that's good. He's from Lubbock, Texas. He was a very nice kid too, and there were so many. I'm trying to remember all of them, but I can't remember. Oh, there was another one I can't remember. Oh no, the Collective. I already said the Collective, but they were all a nice group because there was only 3. Oh my God, Daphne Culver! What the fuck, dude? How could I forget you? Daphne, I'm so glad we ran into you again. You are like, she is so fucking impressive as a performer, because you can tell she does not give a single fuck.
Yeah.
Like, she's good, she plays her instrument, she sings well, but she's one of those acoustic artists that time does not exist to her. She plays at her own pace, and it doesn't matter. Like, you'll sit there and you'll tap your foot to her. You lose track of her because she's playing at the pace that she wants to play at. And it's very sporadic and back and forth, and like, but still it's like you get to the end of the song and you're like, what the fuck just happened to me in my
she's a fucking hell of a singer and a hell of a guitar player.
Yeah, right in my feels, dog.
Her voice.
She's definitely got a good voice. That was the first time we actually heard her voice as it is, because the first time she was hoarse from playing shows, and she was really upset about it, but she was still good. But that was the first time we actually heard her in like
full capacity.
Yeah, at full force. Yeah, and she has a beautiful play style too, like guitar wise. And I really enjoy that. She's just as good. Like she reminds me a lot of like, I want to hook her up with Luna Hawk, because Luna Hawk has like one of those weird, what she calls her dancing fingers, and they're kind of in the same vibe. They're like, it's like Luna Hawk is more like a Joan Baez type of person, and Daphne's like a reincarnate Janis Joplin type of vibe to me, and but I'm not comparing you to them. You definitely both are your own unique thing. And you should keep doing what you're fucking doing. But Yeah, dude, Daphne Culver, I can't believe I ran into you again. And she's always so nice. She was so fucking nice to us. But yeah, that kind of really kind of sums it up. There's a lot of fucking weed there, which is cool, I guess, if you're a smoker. Nothing. This past weekend has never made me want to get high more because there were just so many options, and I'm like, I don't think it's possible for me to buy anything and not get high off of it. Like I feel like if I were to go to one of the food trucks, I feel like I'd get high off of the food. Like I feel like there's just weed and everything. Like I should just
dude.
bring my own shit, and
That's
if I
what
don't,
Jeremy said. He was like, dude, is there anything I can eat that doesn't have weed in
Yeah.
it?
I was like, they're so potent. Like I said that to so many people. It was like a fucking gummy this big that's like 250 milligrams, and it's
I
like
haven't ate that yet. I'm saving that.
I'm just like, why? If I ate that, my week is over. Like I need to just cancel everything I have going on that week. Like that's just so an absurd amount. I'm a lightweight, obviously, you know, but for the audience, I'm like a 5 to 10 milligram person. 10 milligrams is almost like too much for me. I have to do it fives at a time. 10 will put me to sleep within 20 minutes. But anyways, that was our weekend, Summersville Smoke Fest. This next week we are on tour at West Coast. First stop is San Pedro, California, which is kind of dope. But in lieu of that, we have our topic for the show today, which is Terror on Tour, Tales from the Reddit Road Dog. When the crescendo comes crashing, adventures tender underside, the grime and mold growing beneath the glitter and glam. What's kind of crazy about this topic, though, I will say, is it was very, very hard for me to find true terror stories. I guess I'm going to go ahead and say this, that musicians are, outside of music, terrible storytellers. Obviously, or not obviously, absolutely god awful at telling stories, at least when it comes to typing them out. So I didn't really find anything that was like terror on tour. I'm looking for like getting like gunpoint, robbed at gunpoint by crackheads, or like something real weird, you know. Like I was really looking for like weird stories on the road, and I couldn't find any because it's honestly, and I realized that all musicians, it's like all their horror stories is like them getting in a fight or them getting too drunk and being unable to perform or something like that. And so I'm gonna read these stories that I have. I have 4. And they're not very lengthy at all. One of them actually is a sentence long. But I will go ahead and... story number 1. This is from Reddit user Crucosa. It... Go,
I love it.
what?
He just read. You went to Reddit?
Reddit user Crucosa. So, it goes like this. We broke down and a weird old couple picked us up. We only wanted a lift to town, but they insisted they take us in all of the gear to the gig. So we get there. It's early and there's no one there. Then the guy walks up to the front door, pulls out his keys, and turns out they're the owners. Not really freaky, but freaky. How'd they know? Why didn't they tell us? Didn't see them the rest of the night, just their daughter who invited us and was managing. She says, they do things like that. She told us. So, they get picked up by a weird old couple, and they don't say anything. They just take him to the gig, and they end up being the owners of the gig.
That's so
Not really,
weird.
yeah, not really terror. Like I said,
That's weird.
It's just weird. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is these stories aren't really that scary, but relative to the life of a musician, it's kind of terrifying in a way. Not really like scary movie terrifying, but story number 2. They start off, I don't know why, but it says this is from Reddit user Snakes on a Username, is what their username is. Snakes on a username. I think that's a play off of like snakes on a plane, but snakes on a username. They start off for some reason with kinda, and then it says, in the middle of a practice, we were taking a smoke break out on the porch. There were 4 dice on the table we were sitting at. I took 2 of them, rolled a 1 and a 2, and said, 21. Beat that. Band member took the other 2 dice and rolled them, 1 and a 2. I rolled my dice, 5 and a 5. Band member rolled theirs, 5 and a 5. I rolled mine again, 3 and a 6. Band member rolled theirs, 3 and a 6. At this point we were captivated. I grabbed all 4 and rolled all 6s. Band member grabbed all 4 and rolled all 6s. We all collectively lost our shit, and the rolls stopped mirroring each other. There's a little part of me that wonders if us playing music got us linked up in a weird way that spilled over into the dice rolls. The vibe changed when we all reacted to that last mirrored roll. Like before, we were still in the zone, but when our logical brains took over and reacted so much in a there's no fucking way kind of attitude, we lost the sync. Not really, like I said, not really terrifying, but weird. And it kind of goes with the whole, it kind of goes with the whole, like, shtick of the show, this dice. But it also made me, this is the reason I use this one, too, is it's like, there is that, it seems like for instance, our ability to play off of each other musically and in like jams and in shows and stuff like that, it's like sometimes I do, not just sometimes, a lot of the time I do feel like that does spill over into like away from music. Like for instance, whenever that one guy was rapping, that country guy, and you were like, see, that's like if my friend Michael,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And I was literally thinking that. It's like, it's like things like that. It's like there's, like when we're driving, and it's like, what the fuck is that? Like, you don't even give context to anything. It's just like, what does that mean? And then it's like, what I'm looking at or talking about or something, or it's just like that. It's like, is there some sort of like divine relationship between musicians? Like, is there something strange? Like, there's something divine, I feel like, about being being in a band together, or being like-minded with other musicians. I feel like art is such a strange thing when it comes to like connecting people. And that's what's funny is like whenever they're talking about being in the zone, but when their logical brains took over and reacted, they lost sync. It's like, should you really question a relationship such as ours? You know what I mean? Should you really question if something unexplainable happens? It's like, I don't know. It just kind of like struck a weird chord with me, no pun intended. But you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of weird, like how much of a connection two artists can have that spill over into reality, essentially. Story number 3, and this one's just kind of funny and kind of gross and slightly terrifying, I guess. But this is from Reddit user Wooga Butts. We were on tour, playing a show in Seattle, and the entire band was kind of sick, so we all drank a bunch of NyQuil, in addition to alcohol. It was a mess. We were terrible. And then our lead singer jumped off a monitor, but was so fucked up from the NyQuil that he couldn't judge anything very well. Hit his head on a PA speaker mounted above the stage. He got knocked out cold and had a huge gash on his head. I saw the blood and was in such a shitty state from booze and cold medicine that I threw up on stage. There was now a large pile of blood and vomit with our unconscious singer. That's it. I just thought that was funny. It was just like, imagine.
You know what's funny? Ironically, we're going to Seattle too.
Yeah, I just thought that was.
Well, I'm sitting down, so nobody jumping off of monitors and shit.
I don't do that
I
shit.
know, it was a joke.
I'm also not a NyQuil or an alcoholic. But it's just funny how quickly that escalated. Like, they're just, like, fucked, like, all sick and playing music, and then one guy jumps, bangs his head on a monitor, hits the ground, blood everywhere. Dude sees blood, pukes everywhere.
The chain reaction of that.
Yeah, it was just like boom, 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 and then just unconscious dude in a pool of blood and vomit. It's like, dang, that escalated quickly. That was kind of like, I didn't mention this earlier, but whenever we were at that this past show in Summersville, and I was joking around with Storyteller, and I was like, I got candy in the van.
Oh, dude, yeah, that shit was so funny.
Screamed in the fucking mic.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I was joking around with Storyteller. He was in the audience, and all I seen was him because I'm sitting there talking to him. Because if you've been to one of our shows, you know I like to bullshit with the audience and stuff like that quite a bit. And so I was bullshitting with him, and I don't even know what brought it up, but I was like talking about how it's like, oh man, if you want some, like, I got some goodies in the van. I got some candy in the van backstage. Joking around. Obviously, it's a creepy joke. But then out of nowhere, this like gaggle of children, just like a fucking murder of children.
Dude, there's heard candy.
Yeah, they just sprung up from behind Storyteller, and they're like, candy! We want to go to your van and get candy! And I was literally like, oh my fucking God, what did I do? What the fuck did I do? Jeremy, he's off to the right, and I look at Jeremy, and he goes, this went south so quick. And I was like, there's no candy. There's no candy in the van. I was just joking. It was a joke between me and this other guy. There's no candy. You know, you kids cannot come to my van. Absolutely not. You know what was funny, though? I was joking around. I always make this joke about security. I'm like, security, can we get these kids out of here? This is fucking weird now. It was funny because after we played, when we were packing up, well, yeah, I was putting my guitars up and stuff. I guess we left shit on stage, but that's beside the point. We were packing up to let Josh Heinrichs on stage. And those same kids showed up, and they all had, like, huge Nerf guns. And they're like, we're your security now. And I was, like, joking around with them. I was like, that's not going to do shit, you little kids. It's a fucking Nerf gun. And these kids were like, we can go get real guns. And I was like, don't do that. We don't need that either. It's like these kids just, like...
Let's not.
These kids were unruly. It was like every time I'd make, like, a joke, it was like they would just, like... Obviously,
I was just verbally bitch slapped.
Yeah, well, these kids just didn't obviously understand my joke because they're children, and so they would just like double down and made it weird. So I'm like, and it went from like a candy in the van joke to these kids going and getting their parents' guns and shit, and I'm like, no, stop, like just go be kids, go play or something, like get away from me. It's like, it's weird, but anyways, this is the last story. This is story number 4, and it's literally, I'll preface this with, last night as I was looking up these stories, there was all these long-winded stories about tour stories, and it was like 2 pages long, blah, 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 like a bunch of them. And none of them were like even that cool to me, so I didn't want to use them. And there was one, it was just like a Reddit user and then a sentence. And I read it and I lost my shit.
Dude, yes.
And it's probably not even that as funny now as it was at 3 a.m, but I laughed for so long that I was like, I have to at least use this. But this is story number 4, and it's by Reddit user Logical Associate 632, and it's one sentence. I shit myself and started crying. That's it. He says, I shit myself and started crying. But it was just like comparatively relative to all these long-winded questions or long-winded. I keep saying questions, long-winded answers and tour stories, and like like a dude telling a story for like 2 pages long, and then just one dude's like, I shit myself and started crying. I was just like, I lost it. I was like, dude, I'm gonna wake the house up from laughing. I don't understand why, but that was just super funny.
This is about trying to explain that after waking up the whole.
What's funny too is like people will like tell their stories on Reddit, and then they'll comment to be like, oh dude, that's a crazy story, and then they'll like give a brief like, this is my story and shit like that. This dude, I don't think had any comments. Like nobody responded to it. It's like a 4-year-old comment, like a 4-year-old post. It was just, I shit myself and started crying. And it's like nobody even entertained that. I was like, that's true terror on the tour.
When you shit yourself.
Yeah. Because you imagine, like, you shit yourself on stage and you just start crying. It's like, you're done. Your career's over. No. I've definitely shit myself on stage. Enough said. But, no, not on stage. There was one time when I was still drinking that I played a really dope show, and we got so hammered after. This is before your time. And we got so drunk at Josh's, and I woke up. I woke up, went home, and then I realized that I had shit myself. Yeah. So I don't even know how long I had shit in my pants. I was so fucking drunk. But, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I do have another. This is the thing too, is I thought that this topic would go better, but there's not really what I was looking for was not I guess it's not really that common of a thing for at least for people on Reddit. So basically, I just have most of the shit that I seen, like I said earlier, was just like people getting like in fights and getting too hammered or something like that. But
that one time, I think we were at Duffy's Tavern, where you guys left me outside with that homeless lady. She's like, y'all getting up in my shit.
No, she was I talked to her for a minute too. She was just schizoid. And
it was
homeless.
Weird.
Yeah, but. Yeah, that wasn't like, that's still not what I'm like looking. I'm looking for like something fucking crazy. Like, that's not that crazy to me. For sure. I've dealt with a lot of I deal with a lot of weird people on a daily basis, to be honest with you. And especially people of that nature. But basically, I wanted to give a message to the masses, to upcoming musicians, because when I'm doing research on all these like terrors on tour, I want everybody to know that we're all connected and we're all experiencing the same things, and we're all. You are not a musician if you don't, at some point, deal with plywood stages, denial of a promised payment, trash talked or told you're too loud and kicked out, or venues that turn out to be living rooms. Every story that I seen of terror on tour was either I got too drunk, we show up and it's a dude's backyard in a plywood stage that can barely hold me. I was promised this amount of money and they didn't give it to us. These people just booed us off stage. They told us we were too loud. They kicked us out of the bar because we weren't 21 and it was a 21 plus show. It's like, and there was a specific story that like I'm reading these stories and I'm like, that's happened to me. And then I'd read another one, I'd be like, that's happened to me. And I'm realizing like it's a very common thing. And so I feel like as an upcoming musician, obviously I'm not talking like fucking the Rolling Stones nowadays aren't gonna fucking go to a gig and it'd be a dude's living room. You know what I mean? It's like I'm talking upcoming musicians that aren't quite there yet. It's like you need to hang in there because you are going to get fucked over. You are going to misconstrue or miscommunicate with somebody. You are going to run into those assholes that aren't going to pay you what they told you. It's all a learning fucking process. And
you're gonna run into those stages that you barely fucking fit on.
Yeah, you're gonna deal with it all, and so don't get discouraged if your gig is a nightmare. If you experience terror on the road, just keep fucking going. Don't define your whole career off of that one show, because it's gonna get better. I mean, we're just starting to kind of like pick up, you know, and at least we're headed for another to the next level. Hopefully, I guess I'm not really. I can't really say that for myself. It's just a feeling, but it's like we're still dealing with that, and I don't think you ever will not deal with that until you're on like theater stages and big clubs and Whiskey A Go Go and, you know, all those fancy schmancy fucking clubs and theaters and venues and whatnot. You're gonna deal with this shit, so hang in there, because you know, there's brighter days, and we're doing it. We're all out here, and we're fucking doing it. So, that being said, I think that does it for this episode. We are going to live with cause. We are going to live with cause. Whoa, did I forget my own shtick? We're going to live with cause. We're going to live with cause and leave the... Oh my God, I say this to myself every day of my life. Oh my God. We are going to live with cause and leave results to the great law of the universe. We are going to pass each day in peaceful contemplation, patient, and all the while remaining present in our lives. Kiss your dog, kiss your wives. Get off the fucking computer. Step away from the video games and the TV for once. Go fucking pick some mulberries out of your mulberry tree. We're doing some shit. Eat some stuff. Do something. Pay attention to. Pay attention in life. Okay, we're out here doing it. So, Space Camp.
We're gonna stay funky, y'all.
We are going to stay groovy, and we're going to stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you guys. This has been Terror on Tour, Tales from the Reddit Road Dogs. Without further ado,
we just brought to you
Art of the Jam. Hell yeah. We don't want it. We don't want it. Man, that was kind of a rough start. I don't think I had enough coffee. But it is what it is. I'm going to get that speedy bean butter, speedy bean butter, speedy bean water, bean butter.